All right, let's get into it. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the most incredible systems in the human body, the male reproductive system. Now, the best way to think about this is like a super high-tech factory. I mean, it's got a production line, a full-on packaging department, and a very, very precise delivery service. So, let's start our tour. So, here's our plan. We're going to start with the overall blueprint, see how everything's laid out. Then we'll go straight to the factory floor. After that, we'll meet the essential support crew, follow the entire delivery route, get up close and personal with the product itself, and then we'll wrap up with the complete journey from start to finish.
Okay, so first things first, let's look at the master plan. What's the point of this whole operation? Well, it's laser focused on one main goal, to produce and deliver sperm for reproduction. That's it.
And this right here, this is our map. It gives us a fantastic bird's eye view of the whole system. You can see all the key players, the testes down in the scrotum, that whole network of tubes and ducts, the support glands, and of course, the penis. Keep this image in your head, because we're going to be visiting pretty much everything you see here.
So, sticking with our factory analogy, you can break the whole thing down into four main departments. You've got the testes, that's production. The accessory glands, think of them as packaging and quality control. The sperm ducts are the transport system, kind of like the conveyor belts and forklifts. And the penis, that's the final delivery truck. Simple, right?
So let's head right to the source, the production floor itself. This is the absolute heart of the operation, where two incredibly crucial products are being made 24/7. Okay, so what exactly are the testes? Well, they're a pair of oval-shaped glands, and they are the main reproductive organs. But here's the thing, they're not just a one-trick pony. They are actually multitasking with two massively important jobs. And this is absolutely key. It's a dual-function factory. Job number one is making the product itself, the sperm. But job number two is just as important. They also produce the factory's manager, the hormone testosterone. Testosterone is the chemical messenger that basically runs the entire show, and it's also responsible for all the typical male characteristics.
Now this brings up a really good question. You might be wondering, if these things are so important, why are they in such a, vulnerable spot outside the main body? It seems like a bit of a strange design choice, doesn't it? But trust me, there's a very, very critical reason.
And here's why. It's all about climate control. For sperm to be produced correctly, the factory needs to be kept about 2 to 3 degrees Celsius cooler than the rest of the body. The scrotum acts like a built-in thermostat, raising or lowering the testes to keep that temperature just right. It's so crucial, in fact, that if the testes don't descend into the scrotum, it can actually lead to sterility. Now, this whole manufacturing process has a fancy biological name, spermatogenesis. And where does it happen? It happens inside these thousands of tiny coiled tubes inside the testes called seminiferous tubules. This is the actual assembly line where every single sperm cell is built. Okay, so once the sperm are off the assembly line, they're not quite ready for their big journey. They need supplies, they need protection. So let's head over to the next department, finishing and packaging, run by the accessory glands. Meet the support crew. There are three key players here. First, the seminal vesicles. These guys are the main contributors, and they whip up a sugary fluid that's basically an energy drink for the sperm. Next up is the prostate gland, which adds a crucial alkaline fluid, and we'll see why in just a sec. And finally, you've got the Cowper's gland, providing a lubricant. When all these fluids mix with the sperm, you get the final product, semen. Okay, hang on. We've heard the word alkaline twice now. Both the seminal vesicles and the prostate are adding it. That's clearly important. So what's the big deal? Why is that alkaline fluid so critical for the sperm's mission? Well, it all comes down to survival. The sperm are about to be sent into a pretty hostile environment. The female reproductive tract is naturally acidic, which is deadly for sperm. So this alkaline fluid acts like a shield, neutralizing that acid and creating a safe passage. It gives the sperm a fighting chance to survive the trip and actually reach the egg. All right, the product's made, it's packaged, it's protected. Now it's time to hit the road. So let's follow the delivery route and trace the exact path from the factory all the way to the final destination. First stop, right off the production line, is this place, the epididymis. It's a super long coiled tube that sits right on top of the testis. You can think of it as a combination of a warehouse and a boot camp. It's where the sperm are stored, but it's also where they mature and learn how to swim. Okay, boot camp is over. Now that they're mature, the sperm get on the main highway. This is a long tube called the vas deferens, or the sperm duct.
This tube carries them all the way from the epididymis up into the body, where they'll mix with all those fluids from the support crew.
And that brings us to the final exit ramp, the urethra. Now this tube is interesting because it does double duty. It's the pipeline that carries urine out from the bladder, but it also serves as the final channel for semen during ejaculation. A shared exit for two very different things.
Okay, we've seen the factory, the packaging line, the entire delivery network, but what about the package itself? Let's zoom way, way in and meet the star of the show, the individual sperm cell.
And there it is. Just look at this thing. Every single part of this microscopic cell is perfectly engineered for one single purpose: to swim a huge distance and fertilize an egg. It's an absolute marvel of biological design, and it's basically broken down into three main parts.
So up front, you've got the head. This is the command center. It's carrying the most precious cargo, all the genetic data. It also has the special cap called an acrosome, which is full of enzymes designed to break through the egg's outer layer. Then you have the middle piece. That's the engine room, absolutely packed with mitochondria to generate power. And all that power goes to one place, the tail, which whips back and forth like a propeller, pushing the whole thing forward.
All right, so let's zoom back out and do one quick flyby of the entire journey, putting all the pieces together from start to finish.
So let's run through that checklist one last time. Step 1, production in the testes. Step 2, maturation and storage in the epididymis. Step 3, transport through that long highway, the vas deferens. Step 4, mixing with fluids from the accessory glands. And Step 5, final delivery through the urethra. That's the whole trip, from creation to launch.
And that leaves us with one last truly mind-boggling thought. In a single ejaculation, hundreds of millions of sperms start this incredible journey, but only one can win the race. It's a competition against unbelievable odds. So what is it that gives that one single sperm the edge to succeed? Is it speed? Is it durability? Or is it just sheer luck? Now that is something to think about.